Chapter 7. The first time I saw Su Yongshan is when I was 6 years old. Later Su described me, at that time I have a peach-like face and round eyes like a kitten. At 6 o'clock in the morning, we walked out of Narita Airport in Japan. It's the end of March, but the weather is still very cold and piercing bone. I only wore a small coat and a short plaid skirt, and my teeth collided. My mother standing aside only brought 2 pieces of luggage, handbags and makeup suitcases. Mom also only wore a long thin red coat, a thin waist, long curls hair, slender eyebrows, and her eyes always seemed to be ripple. My mother sometimes bent down to hug me and asked in a soft voice, "Nan, is your mother beautiful?" My mother was very happy when I nodded. Well, I have always known that my mother has always been a beautiful woman. The cherry blossoms by the roadside have bloomed one after another like clouds. When a gust of wind passes, fine pink petals will fly all over, as if it was raining. It is very beautiful. However, I'm not attracted by the beautiful scenery at all. I just feel so cold and hungry. I don't know why my mother didn't take me to the beautiful fairy tale-like bungalow mentioned earlier. We just stand here, and didn't go anywhere. I didn't ask. When I was very young, I knew that some questions would never have answers, and many questions are better not to ask. My mother, who had been standing aside, suddenly walked 2 steps forward and then stopped again. I didn't move, I just raised my head. The haze before dawn finally dissipated, and the sun came out. The sky was full of glow, and there were flying cherry blossoms. Against the light, someone came to us. I couldn't see his face clearly. I only saw his broad shoulders, and his long windbreaker moving along his steady pace. Ming Mei, he called my mother name, and his voice was very gentle, and then gently hugged her. "You've decided to come." Suddenly, when he saw me standing behind her, he let go of my mother and came to me. "Is this Ming Mei, little princess?" "Hello. Nan Nan, my name is Uncle Su." Mom turned around and I said, "Su." I opened my mouth with some difficulty, and my teeth were gritted, without cooperation. "Ming Mei, why did you let the child wear so little?" Su turned around and scolded my mother, then took off his windbreaker and squatted down to wrap around me, then picked me up. Warm and wide chest, heartbeat, fluttering and powerful. I never remember that someone had hugged me like this, not even my mother. I stared at this strange man with wide eyes, with a thin face, clear outline corners, gentle eyes, and a faint warm cologne smell. Suddenly, I did something I had never done. I stretched out my arms around his neck and buried my face in his neck. "Yongshan, Nan Nan likes you." Mom laughed and her voice was very beautiful. "Ming Mei, I haven't seen you for so many years. You haven't changed at all. You're still so beautiful." "It's changed, why hasn't it changed? Here, this place has become completely unrecognizable. Yongshan, you really haven't changed. Where did all the time in between go? Why do we meet like this?" "Ming Mei. Well, it's time for me to go. Nan Nan, please take care of her. I'll pick her up after a while." "Okay, Ming Mei, have you thought about it?" "I have thought it over." "Well, Yongshan, goodbye." "Goodbye. Ming Mei, I wish you happiness." Little Princess Su raised my chin gently with his fingers. I turned my face and saw my mother's slim back disappearing beside the cherry tree. Suddenly, I trembled. Su noticed it. He hugged me tightly, and asked gently, "What's the name of our little princess?" "Miss Julie calls me Ruth Mary. Can I call you Ruth in the future?" "Why?" "Because little Ruth is beautiful and cute as a white rose, and Ruth means rose. Do you like it?" "I like it." Su has a private house not far from Ginza, and he held me tightly along the way except driving, until he went up to the 2nd floor and entered my room. The room is very beautiful, with pure white furniture, curtains and bedding, lace and soft pillows everywhere, and a big long sheepskin on the floor. I looked around curiously, only to find that the furniture was still traced with delicate roses with a touch of silver. The curtains, bedding, and sofa seats were all embroidered with delicate roses with silver threads. Even the chandeliers on the ceiling, the lamps at the head of the bed in the corner of the table were rosebud-shaped crystal lampshades. Your Highness Princess Ruth, do you like the layout of the room? Sue squatted in front of me and asked with a smile. I like it. Thank you. I replied in an old-fashioned manner. Sue smiled. Sue, I called out inarticulately, frowning, can I just call you Sue? Of course you can, Your Majesty. Sue replied earnestly, you can do whatever you want here. But I can't go to my mother, right? I lowered my head and said softly. Hey, little princess, what's the matter? Don't worry, Mom will come to pick up Ruth soon. Sue gently lifted my chin and gave me an encouraging smile. I know, Mom just got married again. Don't you like your mother getting married? No, my mother said she would be happier when she got married, so I would like my mother to get married. I reached out and played with Sue's cufflinks. The square silver cufflinks were set with azure sapphires, which gleamed in the light. It's just that my mother is getting married this time, and I'm going to leave my grandma. I miss her very much. This is like my grandma's earrings. Sue took off a pair of cufflinks and put them in my little palm, so when Ruth misses her grandmother, can you take it out and take a look? Then he gently hugged me into his arms. Clinging to Sue's neck, the blood vessels around his neck beat rhythmically, and I could feel the slight thorns of the fibrous roots on my cheeks. I suddenly felt very relieved, nodded my head hard, and clenched the pair of cufflinks with both hands. I will never forget in my life. That cold morning, a man came to me, squatted among the flying cherry blossoms, wrapped the almost frozen little girl with his windbreaker, and gave her the warmest embrace. At that time, I was 6 years old and Sue was 30 years old. End of chapter 7.